Anne Frank said this, that no one has ever become poor by giving. I think at the end of our life, we don't say things like, man, I wish I would have worked harder, or, man, I'm glad I didn't spend a lot of time with my family, or, man, I'm glad I didn't give a lot. I'm reminded of my dad. We grew up pretty poor, and my dad worked hard, man. My mom worked hard, and they did all that they could for us. But one thing that I learned from my dad is that giving didn't have to come from an abundance. Giving came from a heart that was open and willing to say, what I have right now in my hands, I'm able to give. My dad would go to the grocery store. We're getting all the good stuff. And I'm like, man, we're going to eat good this week. And we would drive to someone's house, leave those groceries on the front doorstep, knock on the door, and my dad would drive away and say, guys, this is what giving is all about. And we go home, and I told Jason, we go home and eat our bologna sandwich and hot dog on a bread, man, But my dad was just a guy that said, everything that I have is for everybody. I believe that we're supposed to give back. You guys know this one, give back. Volunteering, right? Investing into our community. You've got so much to give beyond what your business produces or sells or offers. What are you doing that's making a difference with the resources that you have? How are you making the community around you a better place to live? When we first moved to Colorado, man, everybody kind of drives into the driveway, get in the garage, closes the door, and walks into their home, right? But man, we kind of made this decision, just me and my wife, that we're going to make our street a fun place. So I went and made some flyers, and I said, block party happening this Saturday or Friday night, whatever it was. And I was like, bring your grill, bring your favorite drink, and bring your lawn chair. And they had this empty lot in our neighborhood. And I didn't ask for permission. And I was like, who cares, man? They're never going to know. So I just set up a tent. I set up some tables, and I put my grill out there. And I was like, I wonder who's going to come. Dude, half my street came. And from that little barbecue, little hangout, man, we developed friendships that we still stay in touch with these people. I've heard that quote that said, the rising tide helps all ships rise. And I think it's so true when we give back to the communities that we live in. Number two, give forward. And you've heard of this too, pay it forward. These are not like some crazy concepts, man. Giving is simple. We complicate it too often, but giving is simple. So pay it forward, give forward. One day it was Starbucks in Colorado. They said that all day long, no one paid for their coffee. From open till close. Somebody started with a $100 card, and people just kept adding to the same card. What a cool story. Paying it forward helps us to check our motives. It says, man, I don't even know the guy. I don't even know the girl. I don't even know the person, but I still want to be a giver. We don't give to be seen. We don't give to get. We give to make a ripple effect that will carry on for years and years to come. I went to my wife one day, and I felt this challenge to give something that was really special to us or really needed. We kind of do a little thing where we try to pay for cash and we save things. Dave Ramsey, have you ever heard of him? And got envelopes and all this. And one of his little deals is you have a $1,000 emergency fund. Well, we had worked hard, man, to save up $1,000. And I had felt like I was supposed to give that away. Man, I felt like I was supposed to give this to a certain person. And I knew that they had some needs. Really didn't like this person, man. I genuinely, he was another guy in town, and I felt like, man, he had some attitude issues, and me and him just didn't connect. And again, it's easy to give someone you love, right? And I felt like I was supposed to do this. I drove over there, and I knocked on his door. I had coffee with him, and I said, man, I feel like I'm supposed to do something for you. And I handed him an envelope, and man, he's like, you have no idea how much of a perfect time and how exact amount that was. And that's not a story to glorify me because, man, there's been some times when we've been in that situation. And it may not be money. It might just be a smile. It might be giving them attention. It might be some time or just a hug or something that you hold very near and dear. What thing can you do? Whose life can we change today in this community? Maybe it's taking a young realtor who doesn't know much of anything and pouring into him or her. Maybe it's helping. Maybe it's giving up some leads or maybe it's connecting another business to this business and man, you're helping that business grow. The challenging question is, who are you investing in and who are you helping succeed? Sometimes business can be cutthroat, man. Life can be cutthroat. Baseball, with the kids, or whatever. It's like, how can I push them down so I can get better? But what if we get better by helping others along the way? Kind of in closing, I shared about us giving that very precious emergency fund away, man. It was a few years later. There was a time where we were struggling, and we were doing this church plant, and man, we didn't make a salary, and it was just, we had odd jobs and crazy stuff, and Amy took our son to the store, and it was, hey, we can't get this, we can't get that, and then she was talking about generosity to our son, and he's like, how does it work? Like, how does that happen? How are we going to make it? He's like 4, trying to explain these tough concepts. And so they're driving home, and Mason's like, hey, let's go check the mail. Maybe there's a check in the mail. She's like, oh, crap, I done messed this up. He's going to be like expected, like when hard times happen, checks come in the mail, right? No, that's not how life works, man. That's that mailbox, what Amy did with Mason. Sure enough, man, there was a check for like $200 or $300 in there from a person that 4 days earlier, because they were in Louisiana, and the check had to get to Colorado 4 days earlier. She said, I just felt like I was supposed to put this in the mail, and I had to make it by 4 o'clock so the mail would run. And I said, you have no idea how perfect timing and how just the right moment, man. The takeaways today, if you just kind of walk away with some things, is that generosity and giving isn't an act. It's a way of life. And it's a matter of the heart. Generosity and giving is what keeps the things that we own from owning us. Don't give to get. Give to inspire others.